Hey guys, so you know how some people call me Matt G? Well, most people call me the Conqueror of the North and the collector of all things shiny. And you know what? Snaggle Snatch is the funniest word that I've thought about all day. If you laughed at the word Snaggle Snatch, you're part of a very exclusive club called the Cooler Than Touching Butts Club, and it's probably the coolest place you could ever be. Today we discuss the grocery store, which once was a playground for me as a kid. I would hang out behind the toilet paper rolls in the little space back there, but is now a place of confusion, misery, and money spending. Out of all the places in the world, I think the most interesting is probably the grocery store, or the food buyery, if you will. You probably won't, but you should. It's like this magical kingdom where you can go and buy pudding and pizza flavored crackers that are shaped like animals, and also things for old people to put in their pants to catch their feces. I just really like going to the grocery store because I always meet the most interesting people there. Like, I met my first love at a grocery store. Her name was Oreo Cookies. It was love at first sight, and after I met her, I had to lay her down and make sweet, sweet love to her right there in aisle 2. Next to the granola bars. And I was never allowed back at that grocery store again. Apparently, if you make love to a cookie and force grocery store employees to watch, it's called sexual harassment. Sexual harassment. I'd sexually harass my foot right up their ass. Whenever I do go to grocery stores, I like to peek into other people's carts and sort of guess what they're gonna do that day based on what they're buying. Like, oh look, peanut butter, bread, and jam. They must be having a picnic later. Graham crackers, canola oil, and soda. Oh, they must be going to a fundraiser. A racist fundraiser. Radishes in a frying pan. They're getting naked. Cucumbers and cheese. Maybe they're going to Grandma's funeral. Ah, pistachios and fruit juice. Maybe they're going to an all-man's tap dance extravaganza. I'm guessing like 8 out of 10 times I'm correct. If you've been to a grocery store, then you've probably come across a shopping cart just full of things sitting there by themselves. Like, what kind of human being just randomly decides, oh hey, I don't want any of these things that I worked so hard to pick out. I'm gonna leave it here, and I'm going. That actually sounds like something I would do because I'm horrible at making decisions. I always imagined that like taking one of those shopping carts that somebody worked so hard to fill would kind of be like stealing their identity, especially if their purse is still in it. Well, looks like I'm now Michelle, who likes to drink milk and eat cat litter. But I think if I ever worked in a grocery store, I would actually pick out like random combinations of things and just put them in an abandoned shopping cart, and then if somebody ever took it, I would just chase them down the aisle going, "Enjoy your book club orgy later." You're welcome. Sometimes I like to think that every abandoned shopping cart I come across is abandoned because some guy picked out all that stuff and then realized that the store didn't have one of those adults only sections. What? There's no porno here. Well, all this stuff is useless to me without porno. I mean, there's Cosmo, but that's just not the same. When I become a father, I'm gonna be the best father ever because whenever my kids come up to me and go, "Hey Dad!" That's right, I'm gonna be a dad. None of this papa business. "Hey Dad, can we go to the zoo?" I'll just pile up all the kids into the side cart on my scooter, just like 40 toddlers just in a pile. Why so many? I don't know, the miracle of childbirth. I'll pile them up and take them to the grocery store. Because have you seen some of the things at the grocery store? They have a lobster tank full of lobsters, and you can just sit there and they have to put up with you giving them the finger, which I totally used to do when I went grocery shopping with my mom. I would go get a free cookie, and then I would just sit there and give the finger to the lobsters until I had to leave. But they have lobsters, and they have dead fish on ice, and they have salami. This is all free. This is just stuff you can't see at the zoo. If you're lucky, you live near a 24-hour grocery store. If you haven't been to a 24-hour grocery store, go there at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Because you're king of the grocery store at 3 o'clock in the morning. There's just like 5 or 6 guys who are just way too into stocking shelves, and they're your peasants. You get to go in there and be like, "Peasant, fetch me bologna. I'll be here atop my throne of tissue paper." I just realized I think way too much about why the grocery store is a fun place to go to. But I will admit I spend a lot of time at the grocery store, but I'll admit I go there sometimes and I just watch people spend money. I think we've come to an agreement where you're just not allowed to judge me. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed my little rant about why I love the grocery store so much. If you did, you should click the like button, because that's what it's there for. So many people don't know about this like button. It's kind of cool. It lets me know that you enjoyed the video. I recommend clicking it post haste. Now if you'll excuse me, I gotta go take care of this Bieber problem. I can't get my Why is my underwear in the helmet? And if you haven't already, you should like me on Facebook and Twitter, because I'm always on those things. I also have a Tumblr. There's all links in the description box. Alright, and I'll see you guys on Friday for a new Dare Matt G.